Hey there, and welcome to Unpopular Opinions. This is where I bring up my own personal opinion in a way that I know is gonna piss a lot of people off, because the things I have to say about the subject matter I'll be talking about, a lot of people are not gonna like that. So, hang on to your underwear, cause I'm gonna get into some very touchy subjects. And I'm gonna start out with Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, I like the series. I like it quite a lot. I think Scott Cawthon is a pretty cool guy. But I kinda got into a little bit of trouble when I made this little picture and posted it up on some art sites. See if you can figure out what the problem was. Yeah. Essentially, the joke was that I was making fun of the fact that the ghost kids from the Five Nights at Freddy's video game series were not being allowed into heaven because they had murdered a lot of security guards while they were possessing the animatronics. And wow, did I get in trouble for that. A lot of people bit my head off over trying to suggest that they weren't innocent victims and that they didn't deserve to go into heaven. But again, this is Unpopular Opinions. Hear me out. I think I can make a pretty good case as to why these children are pretty damn terrible. Think about it. And I mean really think about it. Why are the animatronics trying to kill you? The reasoning makes no sense when you actually stop and think about it. Look at it like this. "they're malfunctioning robots" excuse only works if they were actually malfunctioning robots. But they're not. They're haunted souls stuck inside animatronics trying to kill the night guard because a night guard killed them. And as we all know, as souls, they have free will. They should be perfectly capable of realizing, oh hey, this guy or girl that's the new night guard can't possibly be the same dude that killed me. He doesn't look or sound anything like them. And I would think you'd recognize the voice or face of the man that killed you, that it would haunt your very being for eternity, and you'd never forget. They can't possibly think every single night guard who signs up is the one that killed them. And keep in mind, they've been dead for years. And most guards don't last longer than a week, which means they've no doubt killed hundreds of night guards. Why? They're not the ones that killed you. Now, it would make sense if the whole criminal database thing was real, and maybe in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, you actually are a criminal, because then they might think, oh, this guy's a former crook. We gotta kill him to keep him away from the kiddies. Think of the children! But there's no way every single night guard would be a criminal. Not to mention those models are done away with by the time the original FNAF rolls around. And you can't tell me that the reason that they want you dead is because you're Purple Guy. If so, why did they kill Phone Guy? You can't be the guy that killed them. If Phone Guy was Purple Guy, it would make sense to kill him off, but that's very unlikely given how he behaves and the fact that they still try to kill you by night 5 after he has already been killed. And you know what? Five Nights at Freddy's 3 is the only setup in the series that makes sense, because the soul in the animatronic is a murderer, a child murderer who doesn't give two craps about you. So of course he's going to kill you. But the other animatronics have no reason to murder you. You haven't done anything wrong. So then I ask the simple question, why are they doing this? You've done nothing wrong, and they have no excuse to not realize you're not the guy that killed them. It makes no sense. It makes no sense! And I know what some of you might say. Hold on. It's possible the murderer kept the suit on the whole time. Wasn't he wearing like a Freddy Fazbear suit? If the kids never saw their murderer, then they're just confused. They don't know any better. One problem with that little theory. The puppet. The marionette. The crying child that turns into the puppet thing. Why do I say this? Because he is the only child we definitely know was murdered not directly inside the diner. According to the minigame in the second game, he gets killed outside when Purple Guy is not in a costume. He, the puppet, the marionette, the one that gave all the children new life, should be able to recognize the guy that murdered him and the other children. But it isn't like he put them in the animatronics and told their souls, okay, the guy had brown short hair, he had a big nose and a scratchy voice, so look for a guy like that and kill him. There's no real evidence that they only go after some of the guards. If that was true, that would make some sense, because they'd be going off the only description that they have. But the game implies they've been going after all of the guards. All of the guards. Why? Why can't the puppet tell them to only go after the murderer, or at least people who look like him? And here's the worst part. If for those of you who still doubt that these children are genuinely that awful, Phone Guy says most guards don't last until night 3. Remember this phone call?
Hello. Hey, you're doing great. Most people don't last this long. I mean, you know, they usually move on to other things by now. I'm not implying that they died. That's not what I meant.
Oh, yes, he is. That's exactly what he's implying, because that's what happened. They died. And if we do the math, let's just be conservative and say that because most guards don't last till night 3, they only hire 2 guards a week. There's 52 weeks in a year, so that's 104 night guards per year that Freddy Fazbear's Diner hires. That's a fair conservative estimate. Now, since this has been going on since presumably from the bite of 1987 to 1993, again, a conservative estimate, this means that there have been 6 years of guard deaths. Now, time for a little bit of very simple math. What is 6 years times 104 night guards? That means 624 night guards have died. And even if we say that only half of them died, and the other half actually did leave, then that means that the children have killed over 300 people. 300 people! So yeah, these children possessing the animatronics have killed 10 times more people than Purple Guy did. And yeah, I know what you're gonna say, that if he hadn't murdered those children, they in turn wouldn't have killed anybody. But that doesn't excuse their behavior. I'm sorry, kids, I don't know how else to put this to you, but thou shalt not murder? That was one of those commandments you should have paid attention to when your parents dragged you to church. And by the way, if you're killing someone just because the only reason is, well, they're a security guard, and the guy that murdered me was a security guard, that's a stupid reason. If you are so idiotic that you think somehow Purple Guy is miraculously coming back to life every single night, even after you've shoved him in a suit and you can very clearly see his eyeballs poking out, you were too stupid to live to begin with. Shame on you. Little brats. Whew. Well, I got worked up. Well, tell me what you think about all this in the comments section. I welcome open debate. Like I said, it's just my opinion. If you've got your own, I'd love to hear it. Stay tuned for next time, when I'm gonna be talking about another popular series with my very unpopular opinion. Bye-bye!